And guys, keep in mind, there are no rules when it comes to creating your vision board. Okay, it's crafting something that's going to inspire you, and it's going to allow you to realize and create your dreams and goals.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our In the House podcast. I'm your co-host, Jenny Woon.
And I'm Toni Singh. Welcome.
Thanks, guys, for listening. And I just want to ask one question, Toni, before we start, because we tend to ask all our guests these same questions, and we never actually asked each other these questions.
I know what question you're going to ask.
I want to know, what your spirit animal is.
So this is interesting, and it probably fits in really well with the vision board conversation for today. I'm a lion.
You're a lion, okay.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, I think probably over the last 3 months, I've been seeing lions everywhere.
I have 2 Chinese statue lions on my balcony because the developer is very superstitious.
Oh.
And so when I was, cleaning up the display home and just kind of getting an idea of what we can do to move this home off the market, I saw 2 statues of lions on the balcony. So
you think I should buy it? No, just kidding.
You're welcome to pick it up because I don't know if it's actually hurting or helping the sale.
Well, hey, listen, you asked me my spirit animal. I didn't say that I would put it directly at my house, on my property.
No, just at the front porch.
Yeah, I know.
Right before you walk up to the house.
But so this is interesting you brought this up because I was thinking during our last podcast, we have been asking guests that, and I was wondering what you resonated with for your spirit animal.
My spirit animal, I'm going to go off the cuff here. I'm going to say Gabrielle Reese.
Oh, volleyball player.
Yes,
I know who she is.
Yeah, so she's my idol. Like, I had a huge poster on the back of my door in my bedroom when I was in high school. And to this day, she just is a fascinating person to listen to. And her new podcast, The Gabby Reese Show, is just really inviting and incorporating health and wellness and relationships and parenting and really takes it to heart, all the conversations that she has with her guests.
I haven't listened to it, so I should have a listen.
Yeah, it's a good listen.
Yeah,
it's a good listen. So I just wanted to segue right into what we're going to talk about today, which is what we promised to each other a few episodes back was to create a vision board for 2022.
That's right. And so I guess we should share with our listeners, what is the purpose? So what is a vision board? And what is the purpose of creating one? What can that do for people?
Well, simply put, it's a visual representation of your goals related to what direction you want in your life. And so it's a really powerful tool to manifest what you desire in your life.
Exactly. So I would agree. I mean, it helps with the creative process. It's a powerful tool for visualization, and it really helps you focus in on your innermost desires, right? And it's kind of like if you make the board and keep it in a spot where you can see it all the time, it really does build on consistency, like reminding you had this goal for yourself. Is it still important? If it is, don't forget about it. You know what?
I just want to quote this American author. He was back in the 20th century in the late 1800s. There is nothing on earth that you cannot have once you have mentally accepted the fact that you can have it.
Yes, this is very law of attraction, new age metaphysical stuff.
Right.
I think, right?
Totally.
But we both are aware of those things. Yes?
Oh, yeah. You definitely have to put it into your daily practice.
So do you want to hear something funny? Before we get into how you guys can create your vision board and have success in 2022, I do create a vision board yearly. I started doing it in 2017, 2018. And interestingly enough, I actually forgot that in 2019, before we started the podcast, I actually have a picture of a podcast there.
No.
I actually do. And below it, it says empowering women.
Wow.
I completely forgot that I had it on there.
Did you bring it in today?
I have it on Pinterest.
Okay.
No, I didn't bring it in today
Okay.
because it's an old board.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what else is on that board really quick. We're getting ahead of ourselves. David and I knew we wanted to have another baby. So I had a picture of a baby up there. That happened too because it was crazy, actually. I'm like, everything that I've ever put on my vision board has come true.
That's amazing. And so I guess
this is a good
topic.
segue. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I think it's a good segue into 3 points really about if you want to go in deeper into vision boards, what does it afford people? Right. So number one, we have, it's obviously power of choice and choosing your most sacred desires. It's a very personalized and specific message, right, for yourself and to the universe for what you're open to.
Well, absolutely. You have to be setting clear intentions. And so that when you are making these decisions of the why, the how and the why, those are their choices. The direction of the choices you're going to be making.
Exactly. And then I think the reason why these vision boards, when they're done really thoughtfully and specifically to an individual, are so powerful is because it really takes you through that powerful visualization process. And there's a lot more research now which links what the brain sees and knows to be true into neuroscience and visualizing your desires so that they're powerful. There's research that states that it actually can change the neural pathways in your brain for allowing possibilities of what you really want.
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm a big believer that the universe may actually be a huge projection of our collective consciousness.
Me too.
Right?
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. So I think power of visualization. What if you could imagine yourself doing this activity in your head, running through this process, and then you're signaling to your body to finish that action?
Well, that's exactly what happens if you have gone through the process of really finding out what fills your cup and what kinds of goals and things you want to achieve for yourself. So when you think about these things and you think about, as an example, let's say it's an income example or something like, I want to make $1 million this year or whatever it is. That's just a statement, right? But if you had it on your vision board and you really got in tuned with why that is important and the fact that you're going to do it, what actually happens is it plays out completely in your mind and body, and you do the things that it's going to take to make that happen.
Another example, as well as when you're an athlete or when you want to finish.
Perfect example.
Yeah, a marathon, and you're visualizing yourself going through the finish line.
That's right. They do that with golf and everything as well, right? It's like visualize what happens when you walk up to the tee, when you walk up to the golf ball.
Right.
Picture yourself focusing. What happens when you hit the ball? Where does it go? And there's a lot of power in that. So the third thing related to, obviously, the power of choice, power of visualization, is the power of consistency. Power of consistency. Do you want to elaborate on that? What does it mean?
It's just being wired for repetition. And so when you're trying to adopt this new skill or this new habit, success is just a consistent practice.
That's
and
right.
That's what really success is. It's consistent practice. And so every time we repeat this action, you build this stronger connection to a certain skill or certain habit or discipline that is automatic into your brain.
Exactly. And this is actually, they've been doing studies on it now scientifically, right? That whenever we repeat certain actions, it activates neurons in the brain. And when you do that, you build the stronger connection to how certain skills can become automatic.
That's our natural ability.
That's right.
Is knowing what's comfortable.
Yeah.
Right, and knowing what is to come, and anything beyond that is manifestation.
Exactly. I'm so excited for this topic today.
This was so fun, I'll be honest. And I'll be honest, I actually have never created a vision board.
You haven't?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you're going to do it every year now.
I've journaled, but not created a vision board. And now that it's so easy through so many multiple platforms, which we're going to talk about later, it's easy to save as well on your phone. So
do we want to tell our listeners what's on our boards and or give an example of a success story with that, or do we want to go into how to best create it first? Because I feel as though they might want to know, other than what we've explained, what's important.
Let's entertain our listeners and start with what's on our vision board, and then afterwards, how to make one up. For yourself.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, let's take turns. But so if you guys are actually on YouTube or watching through IGTV, this is our on the camera. We're just showing our vision boards on an 8.5 by 11. It's much prettier on my laptop. It's much glossier.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy to share this with everyone. So my first photo, my first photo or image that I downloaded was the Oakwyn brokerage of me standing in front of the desk.
Love it.
And that just symbolizes me opening up my brokerage. And I journal, so I don't do vision boards. I've journaled 10 years ago saying I want to open up my brokerage.
Yeah, it's going to happen for you. Like now.
Very soon.
Yeah, I know.
Very, very, very soon. Sooner than we all think.
Yes.
Okay, what's yours?
Okay, so I actually have, y'all know if you've been listening to the podcast for a while that I've been an unbalanced person with work and life. So my board integrates the two of them together more harmoniously. And I have the thing that's most significant here for me is the fact that my family and I are going to be moving homes.
Oh, okay.
We're going to move. We're in a house right now. I think throughout the last couple of years, especially, we have been able to have discussions around what is important and intrinsic to our family and what kinds of things are going to bring us joy, how we want to raise the kids. So I have some pictures on here of houses in open outdoor spaces, possibly close to water. And the most important thing I think about these photos that David and I agree on is the fact that we want a space where it's in nature. So you can open those doors and it just feels like a good flow of inside the house out to nature. So we've clarified that that's important, and I'm sure that we're going to be making the move this year. 2022.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there's at least you're in the business, so you'd be able to tap into the market really quickly versus right now we're the lowest number of inventory since 2015.
It's insane. It's insane.
One of my other images that I have on here is a beautiful woman doing a yoga pose, and her buttocks is amazing, by the way. But I actually, pre-COVID, I was doing yoga. I was practicing yoga at least 3 to 4 times a week. And since then, my yoga center has actually shut down or has changed ownerships, and I've also moved to a different city.
Right.
So I haven't gotten back into it, and I haven't really found a studio to join. But my goal is to get back into the practice on a weekly basis.
That's good that it's right there. I mean, you can totally see it. It's a reminder, right? Okay, I have another one on here as well. I've actually put self-care on this board. I previously thought that self-care was one type of thing. Like, I took a break for 15 minutes by sitting on the couch, and that was my self-care. But actually, I've broken the self-care into 3 different areas: body, mind, and soul. There are different tasks and things that I can do under each of those to make sure that I'm making sure that my body and mind are healthy, and I don't run into a scenario that I have in the past of downgrading my health. So this is a good reminder for me, because I actually do forget. So if I look at it and it says under, for example, what would you want for your body? Well, I could drink a glass of lemon water, or I could go for a run. maybe for my mind, I could read a book, listen to a podcast, and for my soul, definitely meditating.
Good.
I have to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good reminder.
Good daily practices. Another image I have on here is it's an old typewriter that says chapter 1. And what that means is to start my book.
Okay, creepy. I have children's book right here.
Oh,
That's
cool.
that's interesting, but tell us more about what yours is going to be, if you can say.
Woman empowerment.
Love
Absolutely.
it, love it, love
Yeah.
it. I suspected.
And it could be also sales skills, like sales skills into working with clients or working with developers. So anything, to do with us. It's like a self-help book.
Love it.
And children's book?
Well, so the children's book is also related to empowerment and being mindful of certain things. So it's kind of like a young entrepreneur's, it is related to business, but I want to gear it towards kids and growth mindset. Yeah.
So if any of you listeners know how we can get started, where we can publish it, or how to get or connect us with the right people, that will be really helpful for us. Thank you so much. Another image I have is a house along the ocean.
Ooh.
And I've been kind of on and off searching for a house in California as a retirement or secondary home. And so that image has always been, like, you can always go back into my history on my laptop or even on my phone, or I'm subscribed to a few newsletters with a couple of like realtor agents that are from California, and so they're sending me properties as well. And so, I love it. Property, waterfront property.
That would be. I'm sure you'd feel really free there. That'd be nice. I have another picture on mine. And also I have words on here as well. So it's work related. It would be, which I said on the last podcast, I think, expanding Bel Air Realty Group onto the island and also growing a larger team, but not just for productivity and production, to have a community where people can rely on one another and really strengthen obviously all of our businesses, but support each other in our life goals. So I'm excited. We're working on that right now. We'll see what happens and how that manifests. Yeah. Warren will be running the show there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have two images that are kind of related with each other. One is a stage, and the stage is to start speaking in front of large audiences. And I had this idea a few years ago to be hosting and creating this event for women in real estate.
Yes. And
you and I are working on something
so fun,
very, very coming up very soon. So we can't say too much about it just because we don't want to give too much away. But it's this talking on stage, being an MC on stage, but also receiving a Woman of Distinction award. And so my other image is relating to starting some sort of foundation or a board of directors that are a full panel of females.
So awesome. So awesome.
Yeah.
I'm getting tingles from your board. What else did I want to say about mine? Oh, I have a picture of myself and each of my kids on this vision board because I never really did this in the past. You know that we've both had workaholic tendencies, but I want to spend time with each of them individually and together, obviously, as well, in nature. I want to be around more so that we can discover things together about the world. And I think, that might sound weird, right? But historically, I haven't been home that much. So I want to integrate that in more, and it's all tied together with the outdoors. I even have a picture here too, similar to yours, of the house on the ocean and a fireplace.
Is that your house on the island?
So this is on the island, but I'm thinking the reason why this is here is either because we want to do more of that, or I want to have a separate home here locally like this, because my house right now doesn't have water in front of it. We have water views, but we're too far away from the water. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that.
Anything else that you want to say about your board?
Yeah, just maybe a couple more things, and then we'll go into the words.
Yes. Sorry, I did that already, but okay.
No, that's okay. The one image I have is of a humpback whale and a person scuba diving or free diving as well. So I want to be completing my scuba diving certificate, going into free diving, and my dream is to swimming alongside
so fun.
The humpback whales.
Have you gone scuba diving before?
I have started. I started the certificate.
Okay.
In 2020.
Okay.
And then COVID hit and they stopped. And so they did start back again, but I don't want to do it in the cold waters.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Warren is deep sea diving now and spearfishing.
I see the
You might want to talk to him.
Yeah, no, I've been in contact with him actually. He's connected me with somebody.
Oh, that's nice.
Local. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have a couple more?
I do. I have an interesting picture on here. It just spoke to me. And it's a reminder for myself. So it's a picture of beautiful mountains, trees, and a road that just leads towards the mountain. And it's a reminder for myself that I'm focusing on the journey, not the destination. I'm enjoying life in the present. And that road is really significant because the reality is you never know where it's going to lead you. So I'm trying to be, actually not trying, I am being better at letting go and just going with the flow, which is really hard in the past for me to do. I'm a control freak. So this is good. This brings me joy and calm when I look at it.
That picture is
it's nice,
looking
right?
really calm.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. I'm going to just quickly go through all my
go ahead.
my words and nuptials.
Okay.
Coactive leadership. So to me, coactive leadership is working cohesively and holistically to balance the art of like listening, evoke transformation, invite curiosity and wholesomeness. And so when I am, it's not leader and team member, it's more working together to make our community better.
100%.
Day trading. So I really want to get into day trading actually, but I just don't have time for it right now. Some of the adjectives I used or verbs actually, magnetize, being impactful, radicalize, and co-create ventures. And
I like that last one a lot.
Right. It's not a word that's often used, but to me, it just means building amazing startups, unlocking some opportunities for investments, and inviting things that are not in the real estate world. You know.
It sounds very Abraham Hicks.
Oh, really?
Is it?
No.
Okay. I like it though. It's great. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. I just have a few words on here. Mine are not as insightful probably as yours, but I have creativity, intuition, and strength. And I am sure that those three things are going to allow me to carry out this entire vision board. I also have multiple streams of income on here as well. It's funny because we have parallels actually between our boards.
Yeah, I was going to put passive income, but I felt I wanted
like
to be
that
a
better.
little bit more detailed.
Yeah, for sure. And David and I have started on that path as well. We've been diversifying investments, looking at other ways of passive income. We've been implementing it as well. So yeah, I'm excited. I think when I look at my board and I think of 2022, I'm really excited.
It's really inspiring.
Yours is too. I mean, it's something nice to look forward to.
I showed it to my boyfriend and he's
like,
what did he say? That's a lot. I said, it is? I don't know.
I mean, look at these for a second.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of
stuff
here.
on there.
So, to give our listeners some takeaways, we have 6 tips to be able to offer. So let's start off with, what are some of your wishes, desires, and values do you want to add into your life?
That's right. And this will allow them to create their own board for what's important to them, right? Yeah.
So you can have a mix of goals, values, financial goals, family life like you have, love life, adding in wellness. Oh, I forgot to add that you and I noticed you also have greens. And
I do.
My purpose to adding this green is to eat more salad.
Me too.
More vegetables, but also try to go vegan.
Okay, so you know what's funny? That's hilarious because, these are really colorful foods and we're doing the same thing. Health and wellness has become paramount in my family. So we're trying to integrate that into every meal.
Yeah, that's what I
love it.
My top of the list there. And tip number 2.
So sometimes compartmentalizing, what you want in each of these areas of your life can be a little bit exhausting. So another way to figure out what's going to be important for yourself when you're creating your board is to ask yourself questions. And there's 3 really important questions that you might want to ask yourself if you're looking to create your own vision board. The first is, what do you want to experience in life? Right? That's a really powerful question.
Second one is, how do you want to grow and develop yourself?
And a third is, how do you want to contribute to the world? It's a big question.
Your why.
Yeah. But instead of just thinking, why? Well, that's hard.
It's not easy. Absolutely. And my why have changed over the years.
It will, because we're always evolving.
Yeah. And things that have happened to me have created my why as well.
Yes.
So don't it's okay if you don't know your why yet. Tip number 3. Oh, this is a good one because being my first vision board, I had to Google like what it should look like or what the layout should be.
Of course,
but
I
I
did.
noticed that there is no consistency. Like there's no rule to it.
It's whatever resonates with you, right? And whatever you get excited to look at. So when I look at yours, to me, that it looks very free. It looks very free, bright, airy. I see possibilities there. I don't know if that was your intention and that's why it looks like this, but that's what I see.
Well, honestly, when I went online to look at vision boards and vision boards that didn't have white space and that were cluttered and there was like different fonts and it looked chaotic to me. And so I think in my life I do compartmentalize a lot of things. And so I tend to work on multiple projects at the same time, but they're highly organized. I mean, maybe Miranda is going to say something different, but
Miranda's smiling right now.
I think I deliver very clear goals for each of the projects that we work on.
Yes, you're pretty good. I think you're very good.
But you know what? When I was also, what was funny, what came up on TikTok was this lady by the name of the Stir Crazy Crafter.
Oh, I don't know.
And I was embarrassed to actually show mine after seeing what she does.
Why? What does she do?
She actually embroiders. She has an embroidery journal where she cross stitches symbols and icons once a day.
So listen, that's cool for her. Again, it's very cool for her. I don't think it's necessary for you because we're both business women. We both have a team. We're both really busy. Do you have time to embroider?
Well, I did when I was a kid. Now I don't. But
if you wanted to, you could integrate it in.
In one of her videos, she said some takes 3 minutes, some may take 20 minutes, and it could be a form of meditation.
It can be. So maybe for next year, if you feel called to that, you can embroider and you'll bring it on the show.
I think I just shot myself in the foot.
I would love to see that personally.
Tip number 4: find an uninterrupted, quiet space when you're creating your vision board. Yeah. So what's the mood that you want to create?
Well, okay, so
first of all, did you do this in one shot, in one sitting?
No.
Okay.
I didn't, but it's because I got interrupted by the kids, which is why this point is important, to find an uninterrupted, quiet space, because I did lose a bit of momentum. But yeah, when I'm creating something like this, it's just so exciting to do, right? Because you're really tapping into what it is that you want. And sometimes in day-to-day life, you might forget that. It's busy. But I do put on music when I'm doing this, and I do have a nice cup of tea, which is something I've only done recently, but it's just so enjoyable. And it allows me just to really focus when I'm working on it. So
a good tea I want to recommend to you is Egyptian licorice.
I love.
So good.
So I haven't tried that specific one, but I love licorice. Yeah. So it's Egyptian licorice by who?
By Yogi.
Okay.
I can't drink any other
I'm gonna write it down.
flavors anymore. Tip number 5, once you complete your board, place it somewhere where you can actually see it every day. So
yeah,
it could be home office.
It could be in your washroom,
your fridge, your mirror, your laptop, maybe your phone's home screen.
And yeah, it's important to do this, everyone, because it really relates to when we spoke earlier about consistency and visualizing consistently. That's how you're going to create those possibilities for yourself that you can achieve all of these goals you've never had before, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, those are good spots on the fridge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And number 6, allow yourself to be flexible, and it's okay to leave blank spaces because things happen throughout the year and you may want to update it for new things and give space for new things to arrive and appear into your life.
Yeah, I think it's also important to give yourself permission to, if something's on your board and you no longer feel called to it, I think that you should take it off. Just because it was there, it doesn't mean you need to carry it out if you don't feel it anymore, right? So there's the flexibility portion as well.
Was there something you wanted to mention? You said you kind of startled me at the beginning, and you're like, I have to mention this.
Well, so I was going to say that, I'll just reiterate this again. It's so crazy to me, and I actually forgot. So I journal. I'm a big fan of that. I also create a vision board once every year. I do it in the last quarter of every year going into the next year. And when I looked back for the last 3 years, everything that I had on my boards happened. And some of these were big goals, which it's kind of like, if I had the goal and didn't see it every day, would I achieve it? I don't know. Like even the podcast, I forgot that I had it on there, and right underneath it said empowering women and connections. And we've created that in the last year, which is amazing. So yeah, just an example.
I was just listening to Lewis Howe's Manifest episode, which wasn't too long ago that he released this episode. And one of the things he said in there as he was interviewing his guest was he was broke. Oh. He was living on his sister's couch 11 or 12 years ago. And he was asking to get hired or make money, and his coach was like, well, you're not ready to.
Oh.
And he's like, well, I'm broke. Of course I'm ready to. And the coach just consistently said, you're not ready to.
What was the reason what was his realization for why he wasn't, and what did he need to do?
He needed the right skills.
Okay.
And to take on the right training.
Okay, that makes sense.
In order to be where he needed to be. But one of the things that he realized was, if he had already started making money, he probably wouldn't have set the right intentions.
That's right.
Because his intention was to make money, and he would have probably spent it in the wrong ways.
That's actually very interesting. So where is he now then, for our listeners that like...
you can go watch him on YouTube. He has his own podcast on probably the 2000th episode. And his book is phenomenal as well. But yeah, he's a great speaker.
Awesome.
So
it's a good example.
I know that creating this vision board is not just going to be total magic. You definitely have to set your intentions and take active steps towards making these abstract ideas come to fruition. And some of the things that you can practice would be these mental practices that will increase your motivation, gain your confidence, and encourage performance. So, yeah.
For sure. Do you use any other kinds of rituals then in your daily practice to manifest? Like, I mean, I know we're speaking of vision boards, but I'm sure you can integrate it in.
Some of the daily practices, it's always a yes for me. It's okay, how do we get it done? How do we get it done?
Yeah, that's a great, because then you're looking for solutions. Right. So I think this entire conversation has been really exciting to me. And guys, keep in mind, there are no rules when it comes to creating your vision board. Okay, it's crafting something that's going to inspire you, and it's going to allow you to realize and create your dreams and goals.
You don't need anyone else to validate how you feel.
100%.
So create this vision board based on how you want to feel when you accomplish these wins. And it's okay that, it could be quirky. It could be something that's unachievable for other people, but that's for their own insecurities to deal with. But what you want is to realize that your dreams and goals are your own.
Yes.
So take it on as a bigger picture for yourself, and don't let others get in the way.
Self-reflect and always be creating.
Yes. And so thank you so much, listeners, for allowing us to share our vision board with you.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know if you've created a vision board in the past or you're looking to. Let us know how it pans out. I would love to know.
Let's revisit these and check in with each other next year.
Okay.
Crazy,
I can tell you right now, I'm going to
year.
achieve all these things.
Oh, absolutely. But I want to know. I want to be there with you.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited.
So thanks, guys, for listening. And be sure to share this episode with your friends, with your colleagues, with your peers, with anyone you know that may find this helpful. We can be found on YouTube, IGTV, Apple Podcast, Spotify. And I keep forgetting the new one that we're on is Amazon. So sorry. But thanks, guys, for listening, and see you next week.
Have a good one.